Hello there, and welcome to Arcane Recovery, our after talk show of Campaign Casters.
Yeah!
Welcome.
I'm tired.
I'm tired too.
I'm tired.
We're exhausted.
If you are not aware of what this little talk show is, this is where we get to discuss and divulge into the things that we loved, the things we were excited for, the things we did not see coming, which there was a lot of in these past 2 sessions. And yes, it was for episodes 3 and 4 is what we're talking about. So both back to back, because we record in joint sessions. So 3 hours, 1 hour break, another 3 hours. So I'll just go around. What was everyone's favorite part? We'll start with Nick, of the 2 sessions that we were a part of.
Ignis. I love that guy. Like, I feel like
he is sick.
Yeah, Elkstor made a buddy, and I can't wait to go to one of his shows because I made a pact about it.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
yeah, great. Yeah, Ignis is cool.
I do love the reprise of a character, you know, a villain of the week that just keeps coming back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
Great.
Yeah.
Jake?
Little fake burp there.
My fave.
Yeah. What?
What?
One of those.
Sorry,
Yeah, this is how
tension.
I am. No, I was a big fan of how I managed to not let Crawley get away. That's probably my favorite part of the session because I just wanted the briefcase, and then someone was like, "You should catch him too," and I was like, "Yeah, I should." But I'm glad that I managed to not let him get away.
Yeah.
That I was really happy about that.
Close
Same.
call.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Yes, Adam.
My favorite thing that happened was just I genuinely loved all of the wild things that just happened.
Yeah.
There's so much different depths we got into, like more of Gail's backstory, figuring out more of the connection between you and
Sprig. Or is it not?
what the heck?
Sprig.
Spriggan.
The crocodiles?
other guy, no, the other guy,
Urbane?
and also Urbane, and also our old crocodile boy. But like so many things happened for each person that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just that was so that was just cool, really really cool.
A lot of great character moments. Sophia.
I liked braiding Brian's hair and
That
putting
was
flowers in it.
That was very good.
You
That was
guys-
my favorite moment.
You guys were kind of a duo. Pretty
know.
iconic.
Pretty great. Yeah.
I know.
Pretty solid duo.
Unexpected.
I don't know. I don't think we should be together normally. I feel like
No, a lot of crazy things happened.
Absolutely.
It was fun. It was fun.
Great. Ari?
I think it's so hard because so much happens. So honestly, my brain is like a little stuffy of
Fair.
just. I mean, honestly, of what you were saying, just so many amazing small character moments and small little bits of things interspersed. But to pick one right now is just Brian's choice to take the sword and the consequences of it. I think specifically
There's so many
because
moments
this is something that Haven did not bargain for.
Nope.
And as much as it made everything so much harder, I think it unlocked a bunch of stuff, both now and things that are going to come, because he has this sword now, and we don't know much about it.
I'm really scared.
And it was also just a really cool, resourceful choice. I don't have a weapon. Here's one. Yoink. So that's my favorite moment that I can think of right now.
Great.
Haven.
Yeah, oh man. There were so many fucking insane moments.
That's why I just said the chaos.
I would say my favorite moment is this moment that we've been talking about here for a second, not with everyone, but right before we started recording this, which was when Adam's character aged backwards, because I was really, really scared that we were literally just gonna have to just kill Leo in a literal one swipe because we read things just different.
I know.
And then as soon as we figured it out, I knew exactly where to go with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just really cool to get to explore some of these things that Nick and I have been planning for years.
Yeah,
I know.
I caught that immediately.
I know that I think I know what the
Blah.
parallel is.
Yeah.
I think I know what the parallel is.
I think it was very, very cool, and I think it was mysterious to our audience, and I think it will be like something that people can hypothesize about, and I don't want to continue going more in depth into it because this is the tip of the iceberg.
There's many more things.
I'm really
Oh.
excited.
Leo is also just a really interesting character to de-age or age because he doesn't really change.
Absolutely.
Because he's literally just magic, and magic like kind of just keeps going.
Yes.
So it's interesting because he just disappeared, came back. He was 6 years younger. No,
Yeah.
he was 5 years younger.
And for people at home that don't know this, Arcanics can live to about 1,000 years because they're fully made of magical energy, and that's really hard to dissipate like that. Even whenever they're like let's say their elven counterpart dies, right? So that's just fascinating and such a interesting dynamic that we're gonna get to.
More years.
Yep.
To live,
Yeah.
Now you have more. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is crazy.
What's also really interesting is that whenever, the first episode releases, I mean, it'll already be released by the time this comes out. So, but the little opening scene. So I want to see the theories that come from that.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have to at the end of this we'll have to show everyone because not everyone has gotten to listen to it just yet. But
Admittedly, I was snooping because I have access to all the materials as the social media manager because I needed music and I was like, oh, what's this? And I connected some dots of something you'd said to Sophia and I went, oh, there's something here, but I'm going to stop now.
Yes.
What?
Oh, yes. I'll show you all the teasers afterward.
I'm curious. I'm trying to think of my next question because I'm trying to think of how to phrase this right to everyone. What in this session there was so much that happened. So there's a lot to think of. What specifically do you think is going to change with your character going forward due to the consequences of what occurred?
That's crazy.
That's a good one.
That's
Thanks.
a really
I
good
know that.
freaking question.
Big brain.
Are we going
big
in a circle
brain.
again?
Yeah,
We
We can go in a circle if you know it.
Yeah. Okay. So the whole thing is that Elxidor is this paladin, and the oath of the crown. So he's upholding the law.
Yeah.
With all this that has been happening over like these episodes, and like especially in these fights, he obviously wants to try and not kill and de-escalate as fast as possible. So
Absolutely.
So when things start, getting into killing territory, Elxidor he will ensure that is immediately stopped, and he will ensure that his fellow compatriots follow that, and if they don't, he will hold them accountable for those actions because that's part of his whole oath.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely look at that. That's why I was like, don't, especially for Sig, when you were eating people in the pre-test episode. I was like, this is a cool thing. So I was wondering if you were getting ready to little nom nom.
No, I think that if anything, this last episode especially is like Sig needs to like think more about the consequences of his actions because like leaving someone to burn in a building, there's a good chance that person won't actually die and they'll come back and try and
And he
murder
did.
you. And he fucking did. Boy howdy. And we got really close today, especially to death or
Like
worse.
3 times on a bunch of.
Because I feel like for Sig there are things worse than death, and
Oh yeah, especially for Sig.
yeah, especially for Sig there are things that are worse than death.
Very good.
Thank you. I tried. So
It was a good save. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Accurate.
Worse.
worse than death.
In
Yeah,
case
that sounds
in case you
lovely.
didn't get the spittle.
Yeah, and it was interesting because whenever the whole little fight happened, when someone decided to throw a punch,
I wonder
It
who.
was for a reason.
It
telling-
was.
if-
Yeah.
yeah, it was
If
valid.
you see magic, I think it's.
It was
fucking
no.
fine.
It was no. That was. I think that was.
I
a
grabbed
complete
No,
Forward,
it makes
so-
sense. We're just razzing on you because of what transpired was so crazy.
Yeah, because
Eh,
like the funny, I think it was really funny because the worst that. No, actually, I'd say the worst probably did happen. But like one of the easier, lighter, lenient outcomes was like they just pushed us out and were locked out from this guy to talk to him. At least that's what I got the impression of until you gave us that split second decision, which is great. Yeah.
Jake.
It's funny that you worded the question with consequences specifically, because I wrote down to talk about for this. I wrote
Absolutely.
grabbing sword consequences. That is my biggest thing going forward, is what the consequences of that will do to me, because I don't know what kind of weapon this is. I have no theories for what it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that other form that Urbane took was something that he already had in him, or if it was specifically because he was no longer holding the sword. And so I'm really scared about that. I don't know if I'm able to put down the sword, or else I'll turn into a giant eye monster. Yeah. That's the scariest part. That's the consequences of that action will haunt me.
You also did drugs today, and we have not.
Yeah, it hasn't. That has not worn off yet.
Let's talk about that, because my goodness, how wonderful that you did it. However, we didn't even get to the consequences of that today. So
Elxador is waiting.
Yeah, that was the second thing that I was thinking of as well. Is that hasn't worn off yet? And when I took it, you said, "Well, when it wears off, we'll get to that when we get there." And I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?" Yep. So I'm scared of that too.
And we know that Fennec experienced depressive patterns because of in taking the drug from the notes.
But it wasn't specifically the luck one, I don't think, was it?
It was. Is that not
that's
There's
the same.
so far we know of two. We know the black vial and the gold vial.
Nobody ever told you if Fennec was taking the vials.
Yeah.
He was just making it.
We read some journal entries, I thought. I don't know. There was something.
He said that he found how they were making it.
Okay.
I don't think he took him.
Still scared of what.
You found those remains of that stuff in Fennec and Sayer's place, right? So I mean, he could have. He definitely could have.
I got really hyped up for a second, and then I got really depressed.
Yes.
So I experienced that in a micro
you
form.
experienced that. Yes.
That's what I remember.
I can and cannot confirm that Fennec was a drug user.
I used the whole vial.
Oh, I didn't mean to. I wanted to just do a minute, and then you were like, "Nah, whole thing." I was like, "Fuck!"
Yep.
No, I wanted to save it for later, but no consequences of my actions.
Consequences. Leo.
I
feel like this one's.
There's a lot of different things, but I think definitely the biggest thing is seeing the visage of the elven child with gray skin and the runes gold on the skin, laying down in the bed. I think is it really in the bed?
Seemed to be not in a bed, but rather out in the environment.
Out in the environment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the woods. Just
yeah,
in the woods.
Yeah, because you saw lights and stuff within the woods.
Yeah.
And within the big trees around you.
Cool. But yeah, I'm wondering because I don't think Leo knew that Arcanics came from restrict the magic off of the elves, but I don't think Leo ever never saw it.
Yeah.
Never saw what it did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to be a big toll on his heart. Or his metaphorical heart. But also he's just been constantly searching for why he exists, what his reason for being alive and being. So this is giving him something happened that made this happen. So now he's gonna probably dive in and start talking about that more with Lycan or figuring out what the hell that means.
Absolutely.
I can imagine the guilt with that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, that's going to be.
That was a child.
It's going to be fascinating to explore.
Yeah. Wow.
Lycan.
I have a couple things. I think the biggest one is that she saw Lycan saw someone else rune casting. And she's never seen anybody else rune cast before, and that's a first for her. So, I don't know where that's gonna go. I think had circumstances been different, she would have wanted to talk to Alexi.
Yeah.
But that just didn't make sense. So, I think a big thing for Lycan's just there's more people like me. That's weird. So she's gonna want to check that out. I think Gale apologizing is really big.
Yeah.
So I do think that Lycan wants more of a relationship there, or wants to learn more. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I almost like retrospectively figured out some of why Gael behaved the way they did towards Lycan through having my memories. It like reminded me of things that I'm like, oh yeah, that's my character motivation. And so I'm really excited to further engage with that because I think I made my own motivations clear to myself. And
Yeah, it was a defining
anyway,
moment.
it was just I have thoughts, I suppose. So
Good. Thoughts are good.
yeah, amazing. I have any left at this point.
Great.
But I mean, I suppose I don't know my thing.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. So I think the biggest change. This is the first time, very close to it's close to the beginning, midway through episode 3, is the first time that Gael has bent the truth in any sort of way. And immediately got a little stressed out about it, but was willing to do it in this case. And I think that's the early whisperings of something we're gonna have to see them do a lot more. And with just how solid are the grounds of religious doctrine? You know, is it all should one never truly lie? And I think also the other less obvious aspect of that connects to this same idea was the fact that oh no, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going?
It was the fact that.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm just trying to help.
Because I have a point. I was like, is that what I was gonna? Oh, yeah. I guess maybe this was my point. But just the fact that they were taken out so quickly that they were close to death, and one of the other doctrines of Karmos because she's the goddess of life, death, and justice. There's a belief that like my time will come when it's meant to, and that one has to like accept that. But I think having come close to that and having to think about like, if that was when I was meant to die, would I really be happy with that? And just the ethics of what is it to come back from death when you're taught so much that death is a natural part of something that you should not fight. And I think that's something that they will be thinking about in a different way. Going out into the world. Because I don't think that's something we talk about a lot in D&D, because like people going out and being revived and whatever is kind of normal in this game. Absolutely. But what is it to cheat the cycle of life and death? What does that mean to someone who values that so much? So I'm very excited to dig into that. In my mind, into the less obvious things. So it's like, oh yeah, no, Gael doesn't like lying. Yeah, but also like it goes deeper. So
yeah.
Will.
Wow.
Wait for Arc 2.
Oh, I'm scared about Arc 2.
Arc 2, man.
Arc 2. God damn it.
No.
What did he say?
Erase that right now.
What did he say?
I could delete it in a snap.
Go fuck yourself.
We are not referencing.
Wait, isn't that what this podcast is? The Talk to a podcast, right? That's what I signed up for.
No.
Well, I gotta go.
Yeah, well, shit, why have I been here for the past 7 hours?
Damn. Anyway, I'm glad what I was saying was resonating with you.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's just a lot. So
yeah.
Before I even get into the thing that like,
what about Nissa?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to Nissa. I want to make sure that I do say this because it's so great. Like, I'm glad that we got to talk about consequences and like how everyone's gonna go forward with it, because literally the first thing that Nick and I like decided upon whenever we decided a villain. And I'm not saying who the villain is and what their agenda is.
Leo.
But
capitalism.
Yeah, real villain.
The government.
Whenever Nick and I wanted to make this, I knew and I talked with Nick, I was like, if we are going to make a campaign, it can't be something that like every person is just, every person is right, and every person in this party like is the end all be all say to everything. Yeah. So our goal was like once I saw Infinity War, specifically Marvel's Infinity War, when Thanos became this person that everyone online was going, it's a terrible thing what Thanos wants to do, but I get it. That was kind of our inspiration in like following the morally gray for the greater good. Or for the greater good of what you perceive to be what's best. And that's so hard for mortals to make that level of choice. And I think that everyone's characters, as we just talked about it, are suffering through those consequences, and they're going to have to learn how that is. And I think it really encapsulated our gray areas, which is the whole point of why Nick and I wanted to make this podcast. I think was to touch upon those things. Not everyone's good, not everyone's bad. People do good things for bad reasons, and vice versa. People do bad things for good reasons.
Yeah.
So I think that was really, really good, and that really encapsulated everything, especially with what everyone's saying, the whole thing of death, and like having to reel with that. Oh, am I ready?
Yeah.
Like,
Am I satisfied?
Yeah, am I satisfied? Did I live that level of life that I wish to? Is it okay to always put myself before others, or is it okay to always put others before myself? Stuff like that. So, but then to go to Nissa outside of the insane overarching theme, right? There's so much going on with Nissa that's just
such a
Well,
fun
we
time
we
doing
we
this
got
with
some Nissa backstory.
yeah. We got some Nissa backstory, and I can't say some things that I want to say,
No,
but
sadly.
but like it's cool to get to see Nissa start to bloom, because as like a DM, it's hard to run both a character and that sort of thing while keeping that character true to themselves. And luckily Nissa is somebody who's already kind of quieter. But I think getting to have that moment of like them being like, I don't want to talk about this with Elxidor, was like, I felt like it was very like clear that there's a lot of mystery to Nissa, and Nissa does not want to give up any of that.
Yeah.
And like, to me, Nissa is a sorcerer of light. There's a specific name for it, but their subclass is pulled from Ebon Tides, which they literally have the ability to create like darkness and light like around them. Like, that's their whole gist. They haven't gotten to do that yet because they've just been so focused on making sure everyone else is doing their stuff.
Yeah.
But like, that's why I use the magical bows and everything like that to show like the light and darkness between that person. And I think it's so fascinating to see this character like trying to stay in the shadows when everything is lit up around them. If that makes sense. So
Gorgeously said.
So
yes.
I think that was the thing that I'm excited about towards that. And I'm like, how is Nissa gonna continue forward? Because can they continue to stay in that area and not change? Because obviously the character has to change, but how are they going to do that comfortably?
Yeah.
We'll do one more question. We'll do one more question for right now, because I think we've got to talk about some awesome shit for the past two.
So much good juicy.
Past two things. Does anyone have a good question off the top of their head?
I know. See, guys, you need to give us questions so we can answer them.
Yes, yes, please. That's what we want.
For our Reddit.
That's what we want to get to.
Yeah.
We want to get to that point.
Yeah, for like our subreddit, Instagram, like wherever we can find maybe even some reviews, like questions you guys have. We want to see them. Answer them.
Do you have a question?
No, I just had a funny like comment that I thought about.
Go
of course,
for it.
give it.
Because I have a good
Just
question.
while you're thinking of a question. Oh, you got a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
After you.
Okay. It was this fun. I wrote in my notes, view from the bottom floor, because I think it's really funny to think about how Leo, Lycan, Elxidor, and Nissa didn't go up to talk to Crawley, so they like didn't see the fight start or anything. The group separated. They went to watch this fight. Next thing they know, it's Alexei, golden flash, golden flash, golden flash, golden flash.
Yeah.
They chase and follow up, and when they get there, Just a fucking giant demon. Brian has this whip sword. There's some dude booking it down on like a horse.
unconscious.
Gale is completely unconscious. Sig is in his monster form. Just the chaos to go from not knowing what's happening to just seeing that. I pictured that while we were recording it, and I started laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so fucking funny.
Absolutely. I agree with that actually wholeheartedly. That actually makes me think. This was something I personally was nervous about as DM. So the past 2 sessions, session 1 and 2, I wrote 16 pages.
Oh,
For these 2 sessions, I wrote 8.
Oh
So
my God.
I was like, is this gonna be enough? Like I was like, oh my God, like I literally was talking to my girlfriend Mercedes. I was like, is this like? I was like, I trust my improv skills. I think I can do it. But is this gonna be enough? And then as soon as Jake took the sword, I went, we're good. So I was like, that's a shame because this fight's gonna be really long. But I was like, that also means I don't need to worry about like improvising on the spot or anything like that. Because I already had it in my head personally that Crawley was going to try and escape and get to the racetrack. I had wrote that down in really simple terms for myself in case you guys got to that point. And I was like, oh, thank God. They didn't just immediately kill him in like a single hit. Because like had all of you teamed up and been able to be before Crawley and initiative, none of that would have occurred. Had all of you been upstairs, none of that would have occurred. So
we kind of not been following the rule of don't split the party. I think we've been doing
it's been
the
working.
exact
But
opposite.
circumstantially, we've been put in situations where it's hard not to split the party.
absolutely.
Or else everything takes a million years and people feel
But also I feel
extraneous and whatever. I mean, but we're reaping the consequences of our actions.
We
However,
are.
that's like real life, you know?
And
But, like,
we're
the-
still
the-
learning
the-
to be a
the
unit.
rule, I feel like that's just like
No, I mean,
I feel
you
like
know-
that's like I don't want to call anyone lazy, but I feel like that's a lazy DM to be like, don't split the party.
here's the thing.
It's a dungeon crawl rule.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's-
That's
Yeah.
exactly
That's-
why that was created.
Yeah.
Was because here's the thing is whenever D&D started out, it was like Sophia says, just dungeons. It was just dungeon crawl, go, kill, do a couple puzzles together, and then nobody's left behind. Now with role play coming into this sort of scene, and it now is becoming like now you have to actually have choice. You had to have choice before, but it was more like those actual D&D books where you're like, okay, let's choose this one place, this other. Now there's so many options that if you like, it's great if you keep the party together, but it doesn't mean that you can't not split that party.
And I think it allows for awesome moments of, I don't know, specific character moments and bonds to happen. Like I got to have a moment with Brian and
Absolutely.
Gail got to have moments with Alxidor, and I don't know. I think that's
Also, when you have a sizable party. That's
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
also
We
huge.
split, we
We're
have like a
presents.
3-4 or
it's still like a normal party.
Yeah, like a normal party.
Yeah.
So really quick before we like are ending anything like this, I actually just want to know. I want to know 2 things. I want to know what were some of your favorite parts about the NPCs you got to meet and some of the things that were kind of like left there for you to be like, oh, what? Because there was a lot. And then the second one is, what do you actually think that we will do with Sayer?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You made a face that
Go ahead,
scared
Nick.
me.
Yeah. Actually, I have one question before I.
What's up?
Would have Elxie won that fight? Would have I gotten my gold back?
Oh, your
Would-
gold.
Would
Did I
Alexi
bet?
have won that? Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have gotten your gold.
Damn it! No. All right, it's fine. Anyway,
that darn gold.
so sad.
Yeah, I pre-rolled it, so I knew Alexi won.
That's so sad. Okay, but what I really like Ignis, and like why I liked him so much was that there's like an air about him. Like obviously
yes.
actor, I made a pact with him. I need to follow that up.
Absolutely.
But like the idea, very much, and the idea with me being a paladin, I can't fully lie.
Yeah.
So I tried to go around that as much as I could.
Yeah, and I thought you did a good job.
Thank you, because I was fucking flabbergasted when you first introduced
Yeah,
him.
for those who didn't get to hear this part because we're editing it out.
Yeah.
We had to literally do a reset
I was
beginning
just buffering. I'm like,
of our third episode.
I have no
And
idea
that's
what to say to this
though,
guy.
because
Yeah.
we're all
Yeah.
human.
And it ended up being for the better anyway.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I think the order of it worked out
Yeah.
very well, especially because then it aligns with the order that we listed at the end of the last episode. It's like chronologically,
Absolutely.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, we are humans. We are people. We get these nice little edited together episodes, and there's a lot you don't see. And, you know, I think that's what makes the teamwork of it all so important. And yes, but the idea
Yes,
is
it
like,
is.
even as we try to put forth a brand of, we're just people, there's a lot that we do polish, but, you know, you got to remember the layer back. Like, we're just people. We're just humans. We get here at 10 a.m. and end our day at 7 and you know, chug along. But
And we do this for fun.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's a special kind of commitment, and it makes me I'm so grateful for this group where we can be like, okay, let's reset, and no one's mad at each other for needing to do
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely.
Dual improv game. Yeah. Sorry, I derailed the
No,
thing.
you're all good.
Perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was needed to be said.
Yeah.
Of course. And so what I liked about Ignis is that with this air here, whenever I was trying to I kind of skirted around the truth. I was like, well, we are investigators. And you're like, okay. So there's a 50-50 chance that he has an in with the drugs. Who knows? But I and what was more interesting is as, I kept playing with him and built that connection, at least out of maybe the group or something like that, where I get to come back later and there's that connection there. So it's where is that going to go? And will he actually be someone of help if he really likes our group and wants to divulge things? Or if he's going to be I'm going to get close to you and then I'm going to, reveal information to my people. So that's what I really love about Ignis and that air of just uncertainty.
Yeah. I won't elaborate. Heath.
Okay, I've been thinking about Urbane.
He just had this
What
big reaction face. I don't know what
Heath just had a big reaction.
Yeah, Heath.
I'm I've been racking my brain this whole time. Why didn't Urbane stab me the moment he saw me?
Ooh.
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you played the game
Yeah,
with
I
him.
played with him, and then I'm like, oh
And
my
he was
God,
like, well, do I know you?
did he actually have his sword at that moment? And I'm like,
Because he was in the casino.
because he was in the casino.
And he left.
Did he have to go get his sword to come and kill me?
I don't know.
I think you do know.
Well, he
I
doesn't
think that's
have
a
it
lie.
anymore.
That's true, but I was just
That is interesting. Yeah.
yeah. And then the fact that he walked away, I was part of me was damn, I should have talked to him. Oh well. This girl, I could probably get information from this girl.
Yep.
But we made a little friend, although not the best friend, but
A
She
flirtatious
got
friend.
really friendly with me.
and I do intend on visiting her little or her family's winery at some point, and hopefully getting a free drink.
Absolutely.
Does Leo?
Oh, sorry. I don't know if Leo likes that attention or was unsure of what to do about that attention.
Yeah.
And
Well, you got a wingman in Sieg over here.
I know
I follow that.
because it's not very obvious, but Leo has his eyes somewhere else.
Not obvious.
Oh, Leo,
Eyes?
you.
Eyes?
Oh my God.
Oh, eyes!
Eyes?
Eyes?
You have eyes?
More
Never
than
mind,
one
I'm not
eye?
gonna say that.
Eyes.
Eyes?
Say it.
I got an eye somewhere else. Yes. But no, that actually was going to be the character I was intrigued by. I was like, wow, that was the one just from Leo winning every single time was enough for that person who was very slam drunk.
Yes.
To be like, you're cute. I'm like, I'm a magical creature. I don't have any genitalia. I don't have lips. I am here.
I don't have lips.
It's and I think he's still figuring out the concept of love, but he definitely gets that pull towards liking.
What?
But we'll see where it goes. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Jake.
I mean, those locks for sure. Just what is that white dolphin symbol? I hate that I failed that check twice.
Me too.
And then
because I wrote cool shit.
And then and then I couldn't roll again, even when I was lucky because I had already failed twice. I'm like, who are these people? Because I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, maybe Brian should know, but I know nothing. Yeah. So, but just I forgot that I don't look like an atypical lock, like because I'm literally like the color white, not like Caucasian, like white.
Yeah.
And with like only just like blue pointed
tipped ears
and shit. So I don't know. I don't know if they like fully recognized me as a lock because they didn't make a comment about me not being blue or anything. So I don't really know what they were thinking about me. Yeah. But I wish that I knew about them.
Absolutely. Fair. Sophia,
I mean. What I think we'll do with Sayor.
Was that the question?
There were two. So
I forgot about that one. Oh shit. We'll keep her.
I don't feel like. I mean, I think my go-to answer should be Alexi, but I already kind of commented on it. I feel like she's intrigued by the rune casting. I think
absolutely
witnessing the moment with someone else flirting with Leo was like weird for Lycan. Mm-hmm. I don't think she quite knows how to respond yet, and that's okay. Yeah. I think she was jealous in the moment, but also didn't. I don't think she understands what love is either. Like all the reading she's done, it's all been nonfiction.
I think the best way in my head to describe both of you is like two teenagers trying to figure out how to actually say you like someone.
Yeah, but I also don't even think it's like I don't think she's read a romance novel. I don't think she has an experience of that's a kind of
absolutely
category of relationship.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know. In just her world experience.
Yeah.
And we'll learn more about her life, but that's
Yeah.
I had to figure out, is that Sophia reacting or is that Lycan reacting?
That's a great question.
Yeah. So yeah.
Did you want to say something about Sayor? Yeah, I was gonna say.
I would be so scared to bring Sayor with us because I don't think they're having the responsibility of it. I don't think we should have a child with us.
We just need to find their brother.
Riker's about to become a parent. I think that's what's.
Yeah, as long as we have a safe place for Sayor to be, I could imagine Riker being a good adoptive father.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Gael is that they didn't interact too in depth with anyone because they're not one to super talk to make pleasantries or anything. It's just not something on their social radar. They just don't really care. However, I as a player, I friggin' love Ignas. I just love him. The energy, the boisterousness, the fact that he's an actor. I don't know. Everything about his vibe just made me so happy to observe. So I just love him as a character, and I hope I get to tag along when even if it's just Elxidor going to see the show. I just want more Ignas. I love him.
I think it could definitely be a group.
And I loved the reactions that it warranted out of everyone because everyone yes-anded the hell out of that, and it was great.
I love yes.
And I was starting to think, I was like, oh, do you think? I was like, is this an actor maybe that Gael knew about because maybe Tovi was into his work or something like that. I don't know. It was a thought in my brain. Who's Tovi? We'll talk more about her. She'll keep
Nick's
coming into
more than mine.
Yeah, I know. We saw her briefly at least in episode 2. Anyway,
go back to Chelona.
Yeah, I think as for what's going to happen with Sayor, I know Gael's going to fight really hard for her to go to the House of the Solstice because anywhere they're seeing immorality or a lack of safety, I don't think Gael fundamentally is seeing her brother or her mother as bad people, but because they have acted immorally in one way or another, whether that's involvement with drugs or abandoning a child, Gail has some personal ties with that for things that I will not completely disclose at the very moment. But I think they're going to fight really hard for her to end up at the House of the Solstice because they do know that it is safe, or at least has been to them.
Safety for safe.
But we'll see what the consequences of any of that are as well.
We're gonna do two things. One, I have just a quick question. What did everyone think about Ignaz being a light Genasi?
Super cool.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
I want to know more about that.
I'm so intrigued.
Surprise race.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I made Ignaz 2 days ago.
You're kidding me.
Oh,
I love
shit.
him.
I made him 2 days ago.
He felt like a real person.
He really did.
Which I think that's why it's like startled everybody so much. It was
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's like a
dude.
that's a person I know.
Yeah.
I've not met that person, but
That's
I
my
know
uncle.
that person.
Yeah.
See if that makes sense.
So that's I remember that's well, thank you. I appreciate hearing that. But I literally was like, because Nick and I had not made more races for this world. We made a shit.
You made
made
a
6.
lot.
We made 6 of them, you know.
Well, you don't
But I was like, I want something that's still familiar that is like other things we could add into like the book or something. And I'm like, why do people not do like different versions of Genazis? Like there's
lots
more
of
elements than just earth, fire, water, and air.
Water, especially the elements that we're in.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
so I was like, let me just think about all of those runes and how the elements work. There should be a Genasi flavoring for each one of those, in my opinion. So I just was curious about that. So cool, good to know that Ignaz's working. And can we end this off by doing 3 things?
Let's do 3 things.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
3 things. Oh my god. Okay,
For
we gotta
people
make
at
it.
home,
We gotta make it.
3 things is basically a improv game where we'll go around in a circle and we'll do a chant like 3 things, 3 things, 3 things, 3 things, and then I will start and I'll say something random like 3 blanks, and then Jake or whoever is next to me will have to say 3 things, whether they coherently go with what it is or not. It doesn't matter. It's what first comes to your head so that you get the action reaction into just thinking on your feet and thinking of whatever first instincts come to your head. It's supposed to open up your instincts and get you to use your brain.
Yeah, and this is what we used today to get us kind of locked in after we had to take that brief pause.
Yes.
So I feel like it's a good, fun tradition. That
Should we make it campaign casters flavored?
That's what I was gonna say. Should we
Sure.
ask questions?
Yeah.
Ask questions about the characters that we're playing?
Or-
Type shit?
Or the
Or-
world.
Just
or the
just
world.
like
things
for the
that
world.
can be listed.
Bless you.
Okay.
Bless
Okay.
you.
Okay. Okay.
Here we go.
Ready? Do it really fast.
Yeah, make sure you're able, like, you go close to the mic whenever you say your thing, and then go back.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna be loud, so I guess.
3 things.
3 things.
3 things. 3 things. 3 things.
3 of your favorite things about Brian.
He's a pirate.
1.
He has an eye patch.
2.
He's 17.
3
3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things Sig hates.
Sig hates spicy food.
1.
Sig hates little children.
2.
Sig hates bullies.
3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things.
What are your least favorite elements?
Oh, fuck! I was gonna. Okay.
Go off of something. Whatever.
Go.
Earth.
Impulses.
1.
Water.
2.
Psychic.
3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things.
Favorite locations in Ventalore.
Galgrados.
1.
Dwaldana.
2.
Conamanther.
3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things.
What is Gael's 3 favorite parts about the Church of the Solstice?
Ooh.
Oh, the library.
1.
Tovi.
2.
And the beautiful grounds.
3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things.
3.
You asked.
3 of your favorite runes.
Brainstem.
1.
Putrescence.
2.
Pollen puff.
3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things.
What are 3 of Leo's favorite downtime activities?
Reading.
1.
Spending time with Lycan.
2.
And not thinking about the way that the world will end.
3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things.
Have a great rest of your day, folks. And be careful adventuring. If you get tired, come back home.
Woo!